All right, I'm back with another dose of crypto airdrop alpha. So let's start off with the Solana ecosystem and the Uprock token. Now this one is going to be launching in 2 days on May 30th. But if you staked Jupiter tokens and voted with them, you can now go connect a wallet and check to see what your allocation is going to be. Now there's a bunch of different ways to get the Uprock token. So when they launch on the Jupiter LFG launchpad, this allocation here is for people that actually staked Jupe and voted with it. There's going to be another separate allocation for people that made a deposit to buy one of the D Pioneers NFTs. And then if you actually use the Uprock application to mine UPT tokens, you will be able to actually access those as well separately. Next up, a couple of other tokens that are going to be launching soon is, for starters, the Nostra Finance token. They just deployed the NSTR token onto the Starknet ecosystem, so it seems like this one is going to be dropping relatively soon. And then another piece of alpha for you is that Linea dropped some LXP for a bunch of different campaigns into people's wallets today. So remember, as long as you've completed proof of humanity for Linea, you don't actually need to claim your LXP. It just gets dropped directly into your wallets. Right now, it's a non-transferable token. However, the idea is that eventually it's going to be convertible into the Linea token. And the campaigns that got dropped LXP today are for the Polyhedra bridging campaign, the Clip/Rango campaign, the LogX campaign, the Live or Live, and the DSIG campaign. So if you haven't actually checked your balance yet, you can check this token contract address. Just copy and paste this into whatever Ethereum wallet you're using, and you'll be able to see your balance. And by the way, this app that I'm showing you right here is the new Rumor app that I just launched, which gives you all of this airdrop alpha, key dates, a calendar that shows you exactly when all of this stuff is happening. And we actually just integrated a new feature today, which I'm pretty excited about, which is that you can now actually check directly in the app if you're going to be eligible for some of these airdrop criterias. So we have integrated Wenser and a Solana airdrop checker. All you have to do is click on the logo, and then you can search for whatever you're checking for. As long as it's integrated on Wenser, then you can actually use it directly in app here. You don't need to connect your wallet. All you need to do is copy and paste a wallet address. So again, this is a brand new app that I just launched to provide all of these features. It is not free. It is $9.99, but if you use code THECOVE, you can get a discount for the first year. Okay, next up, another piece of alpha is that Layer Zero Labs reopened submissions for their Sybil filtering process and the bounty reports. However, they added a 0.5 ETH bond, meaning that if you want to submit a report and try to claim some people's allocations by marking them as Sybil, you need to actually front 0.5 ETH, which is pretty expensive. And so as a result of this, we've seen a pretty steep decrease in the amount of reports being filled out, although there definitely are still some reports coming in, including this hilarious one. Apparently someone went out and actually registered a .eth domain for all of their wallets and just naming it the same thing with a different number afterwards. So if you are trying to Sybil an airdrop, definitely don't be like Ruslan. Anyways, the TLDR on this, or the alpha for you, is that it's probably less likely that your wallet is going to end up in a bounty hunter report now, because people need to front a bunch of money in order to even submit a report. And if the report isn't valid, then they lose that 0.5 ETH bond. So I would say, as long as you are not an industrial level Sybil with 20 plus wallets, then you probably don't have anything to worry about. All right, next up, let's talk about Tyco real quick, because just the other day, yesterday actually, they launched on mainnet. So no more Tyco testnets. Their mainnet is now live, and there's going to be a 10% airdrop allocation for people that interact with the mainnet. The testnet campaign that they just launched their eligibility checker for last week was only 5% of the allocation. So now you can actually add Tyco's mainnet to the list of L2 airdrops that you're farming if you want to continue with this one. And in case you're wondering whether or not it actually is still worth farming Tyco for that next 10% of the airdrop, yes, it is yet another Ethereum L2, but they do have a decent amount of funding, and Vitalik himself has actually been supportive of Tyco. So I would say it is still probably worthwhile. And if you want to continue farming the Tyco airdrop, definitely go sign up for the Trailblazers Call of Tyco campaign. And then on top of that, there's a bunch of things that have come out now for bridging to Tyco mainnet. So you can use, for example, Orbiter Bridge to Tyco. And if you do that, you might qualify for this meme coin here. You can also use Layer 3 to mint some cubes and to complete a few basic quests for Tyco's mainnet launch. and there's other bridges that have integrated as well. And like all other Ethereum L2s, it will probably be relevant at some point to have used the official Tyco bridge, which I would recommend using. However, right now the gas fees are a little bit higher than they have been, so if you wait until it goes back down to about 5 Gwei, you could probably get away with a pretty cheap mainnet bridge. All right, next up, let's talk about the Puff airdrop campaign on the Mantle L2. I've spoken about this a bunch. This is one of my favorite ongoing airdrop campaigns just because I'm having so much fun with it. Now, this happened a couple of days ago, but if you were farming this in Chapter 3, you can now go and claim your Puff rewards. You can unstake, and then you can restake for Chapter 4. On the other hand, if you don't want to continue participating in this actively, there's a new option where you can just fly directly to the end. So you stake your METH and your Puff tokens until the end of Chapter 6. You don't need to make any more decisions, and you get the rewards for doing so. Now, there's a couple of really interesting pieces of information that came out of this Twitter thread here. So for starters, they outlined the timeline for this. And so until that point, there's going to be more ways to earn the Puff token airdrops. But then they also released a hint on what the end game for this is going to be. Now, they've been hinting since the beginning that there's going to be some pretty substantial rewards for people that participated in this airdrop campaign. And so while Puff is a meme coin, and it might seem a little bit dumb to people that aren't following it closely, the team is actually super legit, and they are working on something very interesting. That is going to be the reward for finishing up the Puff airdrop campaign. So I will continue to be stacking as much Puff as I can. I've been taking my airdrops, staking them. I've actually been purchasing a little bit more as well. Now, I'm not necessarily advocating that you go out and YOLO a bunch of money into the Puff campaign, but even if you just have some ETH and you stake it into round 4 of their airdrop and then round 5 and round 6, you could end up with some Puff and still participate in this. Okay, next up, if you are staking Dimension tokens, there is a new proposal live for voting to launch the MAN network on Dimension mainnet, and they are going to be dropping to Dime stakers, so I definitely recommend you go and cast a vote before the end of this on June 1st. Okay, next up, for Sanctum airdrop farmers, tomorrow the latest community quest multiplier bonuses are going live, and that is going to be a 24-hour 2x bonus on these 5 LSTs. And so what my strategy is going to be is just split my SOL up evenly amongst all of them, because I don't see any major benefit to going all into any single one of these, and I do want to rank up all of the LSTs that I have at least to a certain level. So I'm going to split my SOL amongst all 5 of these evenly for the next 24 hours starting tomorrow at 4 p.m. UTC. Okay, next up, if you bridged to mode on the Jumper Exchange and participated in their raffle, you can now go and check to see if you won the raffle. Unfortunately, I didn't, but the people that did won 160 OP tokens, which is honestly very solid. Next up, if you're looking for a way to productively use Renzo's Easy ETH on the Mode L2, there's a new pool on Velodrome that earns some pretty crazy points boost. So it gives 4x Easy points, 5x mode points, you earn mode token rewards, you also earn the LP fees, and of course you earn eigenlayer points as well. So this is probably one of the highest boosted points farms on the Mode L2 right now. Okay, next up, there's a couple of votes currently live for the Stargate DAO. So if you hold and stake STG tokens, this one only has 3 hours left, but the other one has 7 hours. So if you're watching this, there might still be time to cast a vote on this, and it's possible that it might help you for a Stargate allocation, or sorry, a layer 0 allocation from the Stargate RFP. All right, next up, a couple of Galaxy quests. If you're continuing to farm the Caldera campaign, they just launched a new week of their Galaxy quest. And then Orderly Network also launched one where you might actually be able to claim some NFTs and some points for stuff that you've already done retroactively on Arbitrum. So definitely check that out. And then finally, if you're looking for a Zora NFT to mint, you haven't minted one in a couple of weeks, Reveal just launched this that is apparently going to have some benefits for their own airdrop campaign as well. It says here that this commemorative NFT will allow holders to unlock rewards in their first campaign. So I minted one of these to tick the box for my Zora NFT mints for this week. All right, that is it for today's airdrop alpha. Hopefully you found this useful. As always, this is episode 100. I can't believe I've made 100 episodes of this so far. I was really hoping that episode 100 would be one with a massive claim or eligibility checker like ZK Sync or Layer 0, but hey, what can you do?